What if I told you the landscape of PC gaming is quietly shifting, and Intel might just be losing its long-held grip on the processor crown? A new challenger is surging forward, reaching a milestone many thought was still years away. For the first time ever, AMD has officially breached the 40% adoption rate among PC gamers on Steam. This is according to Valve's latest monthly hardware survey results, and it's a big deal. We're talking about a significant shift in market share that suggests AMD could even match or overtake Intel in Steam usage within the next year. Now, before we declare a definitive victory, let's remember how these surveys work. Steam's hardware and software polls are opt-in, by invitation, and they don't represent every single Steam user. Sometimes, a big batch of responses from, say, internet cafes in China can skew the numbers a bit. But despite those caveats, this survey remains one of the most valuable resources we have for understanding hardware and software trends in the gaming world. And what it shows for AMD is a remarkably consistent upward trajectory. In July, AMD claimed 40.39% of the surveyed users, while Intel held 59.52%. Just a month earlier, in June, the split was 39.65% for AMD and 60.27% for Intel. And if we look back to March, AMD stood at 37.62% against Intel's 67.3%. Do you see the pattern here? AMD has gained nearly 3 percentage points in just a few months. Even with the survey's quirks, it is entirely believable that AMD continues to make these steady gains. We can point to a couple of key reasons for this. Firstly, AMD is currently the only company churning out consumer processors with stacked 3D V-Cache technology. These chips, like AMD's X3D series, primarily, almost exclusively, benefit gaming performance. So, if you are building a dedicated gaming PC today, you have almost certainly considered one of these 3D V-Cache chips. They simply offer a performance edge in many games that Intel doesn't currently match. Secondly, this consistent rise on Steam mirrors broader trends we see elsewhere. Take Amazon, for instance. We can look at their continuously updated list of best-selling processors, and what do we find? AMD Ryzen processors occupy 9 out of the top 10 spots. Intel's Core i7-12700KF barely scrapes in a 10th place. Expand that to the top 20 best-selling CPUs on Amazon, and Intel manages to claim just 3 spots. That's a pretty clear indicator of consumer preference. So, the big question now becomes, can Intel stop this bleeding on Steam? Much depends on how successful Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger is in his mission to transform the company into a more agile firm with a more disciplined manufacturing process. But there's also the hardware side. We have heard rumors that Intel might finally have a direct response to AMD's X3D chips with its upcoming Nova Lake processors. These new chips are rumored to adopt something called BLLC, or Big Last Level Cache, for at least a couple of SKUs. This would effectively add extra SRAM directly onto the chip package, functioning in a way quite similar to AMD's 3D V-Cache. No matter what, these new Steam survey results should serve as yet another eye-opener for Intel. The competition is not just knocking on the door, it is already inside, making itself very comfortable. What do you think about this shift in the processor landscape? Are you Team Red or Team Blue? Let us know in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss our next deep dive into the world of tech.